then continuing up the block, crossing an intersection near several businesses, including a bakery where police were seen later speaking with workers. An employee says a man came in this morning asking for a ride, then ran out.
He just asked for Uber, so I don't know. Cops came in, asked if we looked armed or anything. I don't think he was, but who knows?
Investigators also seen looking for video across the street at this cafe.
They just assured us that everyone was safe and that we had nothing to worry about. To come here at like 9, 10 a.m. and like that's what's going on is truly horrifying. And I really hope I'm kind of grieving for the families involved, and so I hope that everyone is okay.
But the crime scene cleared after 6 hours, many questions lingering on Hickory Street.
Hopefully everything, get fit and they got him, and I feel sorry for the family because it's like a family thing.
Naomi's transition has taught me a valuable lesson. Life is unpredictable and it needs to be lived. We must live our lives to the fullest, take chances, go on trips with your siblings, family, friends, or even by yourself. Be ambitious, love wholeheartedly, and be brave.
"26-year-old Naomi Hagley was a vibrant and warm-hearted person, full of enthusiasm, kindness, and positivity. Her infectious laughter and radiant smile could uplift anyone, making them feel valued and special. From a young age, she stood out for her warmth and charm, even being crowned Miss Congeniality in her preschool class. Naomi had many passions, including ballet, fashion, and music, especially R&B, soul, Afro-Caribbean, and reggae. She enjoyed designing clothes and shoes, and she had a keen eye for styling her hair. Naomi's education took her through several institutions, culminating in her graduation from Pine Forge Academy in 2016. She earned an associate degree in early childhood education and was pursuing a degree in mass communications with a minor in journalism and marketing at City College of New York. Naomi's love for her family was a central part of her life, and she cherished every moment spent with them. One of her happiest memories was celebrating Thanksgiving with her family. A devout Christian, Naomi was baptized in 2014 and was an active member of the First Seventh-day Adventist Church of Teaneck, where she participated in youth group activities and was involved in the Pathfinder Club and Drum Corps. Naomi believed in hard work and independence, working at various jobs, showing her adaptability and strong work ethic. Things seemed to be going pretty well for Naomi. She had mastered several skills and was eager to engage in challenging opportunities that would provide real-life experiences. Little did she know that ultimate betrayal would change the trajectory of her life forever. Just before 8:30 in the morning, the Teaneck Police Department responded to a shooting at a private residence on Hickory Street for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would locate an unresponsive adult female.
People have been going in and out of the home you see behind me, which was a crime scene for most of the day. And we heard from one person who came out of it who simply just said, "This is a tragedy." Now, we do know that a source with direct knowledge of this case told News 4 earlier today the police were looking into whether the suspect here is related to the victim. This quiet Teaneck block rocked by the sound of gunfire this morning.
All of a sudden, 3 shotguns, what I heard. I said, what's going on in there?
A 26-year-old woman shot and killed inside a home on Hickory Street, according to the Bergen County prosecutor. Investigators surrounding the house for hours, checking under parked cars, searching neighbors' yards. A source with direct knowledge of the case told News 4 police are looking into whether the person who opened fire was a family member. Neighbors we spoke with did not know much about the victim or family that lives there.
I never seen anyone even come out that house. They were pretty quiet on the low.
The victim was identified as 26-year-old Naomi Hagley, who was rushed to an area hospital, where she would sadly succumb to multiple gunshot wounds. First responders quickly identified the suspect as a family member who fled the scene. A joint investigation determined that Naomi's own twin brother, 26-year-old Jonathan Hagley, shot her multiple times and fled on foot. Hagley was located several blocks from the scene of the shooting by officers from the Bogota Police Department who were providing assistance. A handgun with a defaced serial number was recovered near the crime scene. The motive behind the killing remains unclear, but when police arrived at the quiet suburban home, just minutes from Manhattan, they found Naomi fatally wounded with 3 gunshot wounds.
At that time, a man running down Hickory Street toward DeGraw Avenue, then continuing up the block, crossing an intersection near several businesses, including a bakery where police were seen later speaking with workers. An employee says a man came in this morning asking for a ride, then ran out.
He just asked for Uber. So I don't know. Cops came in, asked if we looked armed or anything. I don't think he was, but who knows?
The father of the twins claimed the shots came from Hagley's handgun. This was not the first time Hagley, who now faces charges of murder, weapons possession, and obstruction, found himself in trouble with the law. Approximately 8 months earlier, Hagley was involved in a violent incident in Harlem, where he allegedly shot a man in the back during a gunfight. According to the Bergen record, the January 15th confrontation began near Hagley's apartment on West 136th Street when 2 unidentified men approached and shot him twice before fleeing. Hagley, in pursuit, allegedly fired 3 shots in the middle of a busy intersection in broad daylight, one of which struck a 37-year-old bystander in the spine. Authorities recovered 3 shell casings from the scene, and a gun along with an extended magazine was found on 7th Avenue. Hagley, who was on parole at the time for prior convictions in New Jersey, was also wounded in the buttocks by a bullet during the exchange. He was charged with second-degree attempted murder, assault, and other offenses, and a judge set his bail at $100,000 cash or $300,000 bond. Despite the serious charges, Hagley posted bail and was released. Just 8 months later, Naomi became his next victim. At the time of Naomi's death, Hagley was scheduled for a court appearance in both Manhattan and Bergen County, but he was medically sedated, prompting his attorney to waive the hearings. New Jersey prosecutors are now seeking to hold him without bail until his trial, which is set for the coming weeks. Hagley's criminal history stretches back several years. In March 2018, he was sentenced to 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to aggravated assault, burglary, and weapons charges related to an attempted break-in at a Garfield, New Jersey, apartment in 2016. While incarcerated in Bergen County Jail, he allegedly slashed another inmate's face with a blade, adding assault charges to his record. His lengthy prison sentence was part of a plea deal that resolved both cases, and despite multiple appeals, he remained incarcerated until his release from Bayside State Prison in November 2022. The most pressing question is what could drive a brother, especially a twin brother, to kill his own sister? Were there underlying issues between the two before the tragic incident? Could jealousy over Naomi's accomplishments have played a role? Or is there more to the story that the family has yet to reveal? So many questions remain unanswered, leaving a profound sense of loss. Naomi's family should have been celebrating her upcoming graduation from the City College of New York, but instead, they are left to plan her funeral, an unimaginable turn of events for a life taken far too soon.
Police in Bergen County say they've nabbed the suspect in a murder of a 26-year-old woman gunned down in a home in Teaneck. The neighborhood still reeling from Thursday morning's shocking murder.
All of a sudden, like, 3 shotguns, what I heard. I said, what's going on in there?
Police have arrested Jonathan Hagley of New York, charging him with the murder of his twin sister, Naomi Hagley. Police say the call came just before 8:30 to a home in the 300 block of Hickory Street, where Naomi Hagley was found with multiple gunshot wounds. She was taken to the hospital, where police say she died. Throughout the day, detectives from Teaneck Police, the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, and other agencies were seen leaving and entering the home.
Oh, this area is not that bad. It's like really quiet. And all of a sudden I heard a gunshot going on. So I don't know what's going on.
A lot of police cars. In 10 seconds I see it's 15 police cars. And later on, the ambulance came. I knew right away something serious is going on.
Many people who live in this community, including some who say they lived here for decades, remark how safe they feel in this part of Teaneck, being able to go outside at night or walk their dog without having to think twice.
I really feel scared. Never happened before in the 20 years I'm in the neighborhood.
The neighborhood is pretty good. Like nothing happens, child friendly.
Scared and surprised at the same time. Like she said, nothing happened around here, so I never thought I was going to witness something like that.
Police say Jonathan Hagley fled the scene and was found by Bogota police officers. They say they recovered a handgun with a defaced serial number near the scene. He's now in the Bergen County Jail, pending a detention hearing.
As a result of the investigation, Jonathan Hagley was charged with first-degree murder, second-degree unlawful possession of a handgun, second-degree possession of a firearm for an unlawful purpose, second-degree certain persons not to have weapons or ammunition, third-degree possession of a defaced firearm, and fourth-degree obstructing justice. He was transported and is currently being held inside the psychiatric ward at the Bergen County Jail in Hackensack, New Jersey, pending a detention hearing. The tragic story highlights several important lessons about unchecked violence, the failures of the justice system, and the dangers of untreated mental health issues. Hagley's violent history suggests that mental health problems or emotional instability may have contributed to his behavior, underscoring the need for better support and intervention. His past criminal record, including incidents of assault and gun violence, demonstrates the risks posed by repeat offenders who are allowed to remain free, emphasizing the need for a more effective criminal justice system. The incident also points to the potential for domestic violence, even within families, where unresolved anger or trauma can escalate into violence. It serves as a reminder that healthy communication and conflict resolution are crucial in preventing such outcomes. Moreover, Hagley's ability to post bail despite a history of violence raises serious concerns about the effectiveness of the justice system, especially when it comes to protecting the public from repeat offenders. Ultimately, this story highlights the lasting and often irreparable damage caused by violence, particularly within families. Naomi's tragic death, which could have been prevented with proper intervention, serves as a reminder of how violence can destroy lives and leave enduring trauma for loved ones. This case calls for stronger mental health support, more robust justice system practices, and better family support to prevent such devastating tragedies. Rest in peace, Naomi Hagley.
I am Naomi's older sister. At 7 years old, my father told me that I was going to be a big sister, and to my young mind's surprise, he informed me that him and Dolores were expecting twins. I was so filled with joy and couldn't wait to share the news with anyone who was willing to listen. I remember meeting Naomi for the first time as an infant. She was so tiny. Memories of trying to carry them down the stairs when they were babies, scaring the adults who were present. I recall them sitting and eating at their toddler table in the old kitchen and learning what lactose intolerant meant. If you know Naomi, and her relationship with dairy was not a great one. I remember playing with her, sleeping next to her, and being silly with her. She was so silly. As I composed this tribute, so many memories started to come back to me of Naomi as a child. Her innocence, how loving she was, her love for food, and her wittiness. I remember attending this same church on Saturdays when I visited. She was really into her faith as a child, always reminding me of the SDA Christian way. She attended my high school graduation in 2008, and I wouldn't see her again until 2011 when she learned that she became an aunt at 13 and had a nephew named Xavier. At that time, she was crazy over the boy band One Direction and Justin Bieber. I remember when she visited, my son's grandmother asked her, what would she do one day if she was to meet the band? And she ran up and down the kitchen, flailing her arms, screaming. Unfortunately, after that introduction, Xavier and I did not see Naomi for 9 years as we relocated to Virginia. One of my last memories of my beautiful sister was in 2020 when we went out with my best friend and had such a wonderful time. I was able to see the hardworking, ambitious, bold, stylish young woman that she grew up to be, and she was funny. I thought that I was an act, but this girl had me laughing the entire night. When I reflect on it now, I think of how she tried as adults to establish a sister relationship. She wanted us to plan a trip to Grenada, but she ended up going alone. That's who she was, though, independent, brave, and a risk taker, completely different from me. I did not make creating memories a priority, and today I regret that. I am so grateful that she attended Xavier's 10th birthday in May 3 years ago, and they were able to see each other for the first time since he was an infant. Naomi's transition has taught me a valuable lesson. Life is unpredictable, and it needs to be lived. We must live our lives to the fullest, take chances, go on trips with your siblings, family, friends, or even by yourself. Be ambitious, love wholeheartedly, and be brave. In closing, I want to say to Dolores and my dad, I am so sorry for your loss. I want to say to my beautiful sister, you brought joy and happiness and laughter in my life, and I'm sure everyone here. I want to just say this Bible verse. Psalms 116, verse 15 says, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his faithful servant." I love you, Naomi, and may your soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.